Central City South is an important area in South Phoenix, directly south of really the industrial, the high-rise area. It's comprised of a number of neighborhoods that are just kind of lined up there. Many of the high-rises look out their south windows right down onto these neighborhoods.
The neighborhoods, Grant Park and Central Park, historically they were one of the first communities in the Phoenix in the late 1800s. And you can drive through those neighborhoods or walk through the neighborhoods and you'll see homes that were built in 1905, 1903. Latino residents and African American residents made that their home throughout the 20th century. And now in the new century, it's starting to continue to evolve.
You have that incredible history and the diversity living there. History is living in Central City South. It hasn't been shipped to a museum.
So Neighborhood Revitalization is a program Habitat for Humanity took up about 5 years ago, where we would go into a community, target a very specified area, and do a full assessment to try to help that community on a holistic level.
We realized there are more and more families that need repairs and revitalization of their homes.
We have pockets of acute poverty. When we talk about acute poverty like this, we're talking about human suffering.
I've been in this neighborhood for about 30 years. I live with my wife and my son and daughter. It's a good neighborhood, you know. There's ups and downs in the neighborhood. There's a little bit of work that needs to be done around the neighborhoods. We have 3 cats, 2 of them are outdoor cats, 1 an indoor cat, and then I also have a little Chihuahua. She's an indoor dog.
20 years ago when I bought the house, I came into, because my brother lived next door and he was not in good health, so I moved here so I could help him out. And the house needed some help then, but you know, helping my brother was great.
How this neighborhood looked before when I was raised here, it was the streets were dirt. My driveway was dirt. I had no porch. We had no porch there. Everything was just look back like in the 60s, and you know, like back then. It was so different that it was not a comfortable place to live, but we lived here.
I started seeing all of the volunteers come through. They were hyped, they were motivated. They put their gloves on, went for the equipment, started talking about what to do, game plan, everything. Really motivated me and felt good.
They're putting granite up front in the yard, and they're gonna put a couple of Texas sages and a live oak and a tree, of course, in my yard. And it's gonna beautify the area. That's what it's gonna do.
Donors help Habitat for Humanity be able to offer the repairs, the affordable repairs for the residents. We'll do things like replace roofs for residents, windows, we'll do landscaping and paint. We'll also partner with other organizations, residents, and community leaders to help that community out.
We do help out at a community garden that we have there at 3rd Avenue and Grant. And it's a community garden that was started almost 10 years ago by other residents in our neighborhood before we moved there. And we've been able to maintain it, but because it's been there for around 10 years, it's starting to break down and we need to rejuvenate it.
Just recently, we had an amazing example of how one organization, one corporation could really help. Quicken Loans brought somewhere close to 600 volunteers over a 4-day period down to Grant Park into that neighborhood. They worked in the community garden. There's a beautiful little community garden there that needed some help. And it's a perfect example of what a corporation could do to help their fellow man right there in the area they work. I mean, many hands make for light work, and that's what it's going to take.
SWBT is located in the Warehouse District. It's actually our 10-year anniversary, so we want to give back to our local community. It's important to sponsor it because if you're giving back to your community, it's going to in turn help your company. But not only is that important, but just helping the neighborhood around us is super important as well. We're really just seeing the end product of your landscaping or painting really makes an impact on you as a person.
So before, we didn't really have much of the plants, but as a group, we planted the flowers in the front and put rocks. And now with the red rocks, it looks much better.
It feels good to come outside and see all the landscaping done and have a beautiful view in the morning, so we enjoy it.
Neighborhoods like Grant Park, Central Park, over the years have been neglected, but I think there's a pride, the families have, that the fact that they were raised in those neighborhoods. When people move into neighborhoods, they want to feel comfortable, they want to feel welcomed, and I think those neighborhoods have allowed people, immigrants and people of color, to be able to move in and raise their families there.
It's part of the heart, historically, of Metro Phoenix. The reason the progress is there is because there's character and dignity in the existing community.
Once we can help the community feel more cohesive and more developed and improve homes individually, that's going to raise not only community development, but economic development.
Progress didn't come because it was an empty community. Progress wants to be by that character.
The more people that we can get to realize the sense of urgency down there and the need, the better off we'll all be. And the faster we'll be able to get this done.
This is the heart of our city, and we have an opportunity to make an impact right away.